No one ever forgets their first trip to New York City. I know I won't, because what happened on that trip was unbelievable. Here's the story. This is back when I was teaching on the faculty of Miami University, and I was taking a group of students on a trip to the International Speech Competition Championship in London, England. And so I had a group of students, I think there were 7 of them, who had all qualified to go to this tournament. They'd raised money to go. They were so excited. They got out of their classes. We were going to be gone for a week in London, England. It was awesome. Well, to cut down on the cost for us going, instead of flying out of Cincinnati or Dayton nearby the university, we actually loaded up into a 15-passenger university van and drove, I don't know, like 13 or 14 hours from Ohio to New York City. We're going to fly out of JFK. And our original plan was, let's drive halfway and we'll spend the night somewhere. But then we said, none of us had ever been to New York City. And so, you know what? If we drive all through the night, we can get into New York City about 7 in the morning, and our flight's not out at JFK until 4 or 5 o'clock that night, and we can spend 5 or 6 hours around New York City. How awesome would that be? Hooray! So everyone agrees, let's do it. So we drove through the night, we get there, and this is my first time, and so I'm rolling on in to New York City, and if you've been there, the traffic is insane. And I'm not a country mouse. I grew up in Detroit, a major city, but it is nothing like New York City. And so I'm trying to navigate these streets, one-way streets, crowded with people, everybody cutting everybody off, honking horns, extremely stressful, especially trying to navigate this big 15-passenger van. And so we decided, you know what? I'm not going to spend all day driving around trying to find parking. Couldn't find any parking, really, but I said, let's just park the van somewhere and we can walk around the city and explore. That'd be awesome. So we start driving around looking for parking spaces. Well, this parking lot is full and this one is full. And finally we get to, we actually were on Broadway, right? We can see all these theaters. And at nighttime, I'm sure it's packed, but at 7:30 in the morning, there was nobody there. And so we're driving and we see between 2 buildings, there's like a gravel parking lot with no vehicles in it, but there's a sign that says parking $20. Well, I don't know. Does that mean only at night when there's, shows going on, or is that anytime someone can park there? And so, well, it doesn't say you can't park here during the day. They'd probably have it blocked off if you could. So I pull in there. I'm the only car in this parking lot. And, I'm like, well, this is where we're going to park. Well, I look and there's a guy standing right on the corner by the, the parking lot next to the building. This guy's standing there, and so, obviously he's the parking lot attendant. And I said, hey, can we park here? And he said, sure you can. And I said, great. And we were all so excited, right? And I'm like, all right, everybody, get your cameras, get your stuff. Hooray! We were so excited. We just grabbed all our stuff and left all of our luggage, all of our passports, briefcases, electronics. We left all that in the van, locked it up, and we start to head off into the city. And the guy working there goes, hey, wait, I need your keys. And I said, what do you need my keys for? He goes, in case we need to move your van. I said, well, that makes sense. I've valet parked before. This is how it works. So I gave him the keys. He might need to move the van, and off we go. And so our group, we start walking around. We went to Grand Central Station. That was amazing. We went down to Wall Street and got some pictures by the Bull. And just walking around in the buzz and the vibrancy of the city, we were having the time of our lives. And this is all before our trip to England, which was going to be awesome, right? And so then it gets to be about lunchtime and what do you want for lunch? I always, when I travel, like to go somewhere we don't have when we're at home. But these guys were all wanted to go with what was familiar. They wanted to eat at Wendy's. I said, we're in the city with some of the best restaurants in the world. We can't go to Wendy's. But they wanted to go to Wendy's. So we go to Wendy's. And I pay for everybody's lunch because I'm the adult chaperone with this group, right? I'm the college instructor, and these are all college students. And get my receipt, right? Because I got to get reimbursed for this from the university. Got to keep all my receipts. And so I put my receipt carefully in my wallet. And that's when I realized I did not get a receipt from the valet parking guy. I gave him $20. for the parking. I gave him my keys. I did not get a receipt. Oh no. Not only did I not get a receipt, I didn't get any kind of a claim ticket that he put on my keychain and tore off a number with my, like other valet parking I've done. Oh no. And then I started thinking about this guy. And he didn't have like uniform on of any kind, didn't have like a valet parking services with outfit with his shirt on, didn't even have a branded hat. He was just some guy. And as we're standing there outside of Wendy's, it dawns on me that I have no proof that that guy works for any kind of a valet parking company at all. It's entirely possible that he was just some guy standing there when I pulled in and parked. And not only did I give him the keys to my van, I paid him $20. Oh no, that can't be. This can't be happening. I start getting nervous. And the kids are going to go do something. I say, you know what? I'm going to take a cab back to the park. I go, does anybody remember that guy's name? Did we get his name? No. Do you remember the name of the parking company? No. Oh, no. So I start to panic. I hail a cab because it's I don't know how many blocks it's way down. We'd walk pretty far. And I take a cab back to Broadway, and the cab pulls up, and I get out, and there's this parking lot, and you can see where this story is going. The van is gone. It's gone. There is nothing parked in this lot. The only thing in this lot is like a plastic grocery bag, just kind of blowing through the wind, looking like my career that is about to blow away. Because not only did I just lose a van, I didn't really lose it. I gave it away. I paid someone to steal it. Not only is our van gotten something, it's not my van. It's the university van. That van costs more than I make in a year teaching. Oh, no. Our van got stolen in New York City. And then I start thinking, it's not just the van, right? Everybody's passports were in that van. So guess what? Guess who's not going to England now for this big speech competition? None of us. What else that was in there in my briefcase was an envelope with $5,000 cash that I was going to use for spending money on our trip when we were in England. That's gone. My brand new Motorola flip phone, that was worth a month's teaching salary right there, man. A cell phone. Oh no, it's all gone. All the money, all the luggage, all the camera equipment, gone. Well, this has got to be one of the dumbest things that anyone has ever done. I mean, this is like the ultimate like moron in the big city. This is what thieves dream of, is these idiots from Ohio to show up. Here's my van, take it away. I am so upset. I am so disappointed. I am so angry. I'm not angry even at the thieves. I'm angry at myself. Like, what a stupid thing to do. So now I'm like, well, I got to call the police. If I had my phone, I'd call the police on my Motorola flip phone, but that thing's gone. So I start walking up and down Broadway Avenue looking for a payphone or a police officer so I can report the theft of our van, right? I don't know, what are they stealing a 15-passenger van for? Maybe I don't know, maybe the cops can find it. So I start walking down the street. I get about 3 blocks down, and I look and I see, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's that guy. It's the guy who took my van, is like standing over there. Well, I snap. I go running over there. Hey! I start screaming at this guy. He's like, what? I grab him by his jacket. He's got a leather jacket on. I start shaking him. Where's my van? Where's my van? You took my van. I'm like, oh man, I got him. And I'm like, help, police, police. And he starts yelling, help, police. I'm like, no, police, help me. And I got him, and he starts trying to get away, and I'm holding him. I'm not letting him go, man. I got to get this van back. I'm going to hold this guy. I'm going to make a citizen's arrest in New York City. And he kind of fights me off partway and reaches into his jacket. Well, now I start really freaking out, right? Because if this guy's got a gun, like, I want to get the van back, but I don't want to get shot. And so he reaches in and gets something out of it. It starts to pull it out, and it's like black plastic. I thought it was like a Glock pistol. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I grab his wrist, and I start fighting him. And he is screaming, and I'm screaming, and there's no one else around. And he's like, get off me, get off of me. And he pulls it out of his pocket, and he goes, it was a walkie-talkie. And he goes, Larry, can you please pull that white van around? And I go, what? And he goes, hey, gets out of his other pocket a receipt. He goes, you took off into the city without getting your receipt for your parking. And, and your ticket here. Oh, thanks. And just then, pulls around the corner, our van. And the guy gets out, here's your key, sir. And they go, yeah, we had to move it. We can't leave cars parked here all day. We can move them to another lot over there. Hope you guys had a good day. Thanks for your business. And I had to profusely apologize to this guy for accosting him and just about killing him. I said, I really, really thought that you guys were stealing my van. And, well, now I look like a total jerk, right? Because now I've offended all the people of New York City. But get in the van, all the luggage is there, all the passports are there, all the money is there, everything was okay, everything turned out great. I went, picked up the kids, off we went to London, and we had an amazing trip. Maybe I'll tell you some stories from our London trip on a later video. But here's the moral of the story, right? A lot of people feel that as long as everything turns out okay, well, then it's okay, right? I think it was Shakespeare who said, all's well that ends well. And you know what I've learned? No, just because it turned out okay doesn't mean you didn't do something stupid. And just because things turn out terribly doesn't mean you did the wrong thing. Sometimes I've had experiences in my life where things turned out really, really badly. But you know what? I was still doing the right thing. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. The valet incident is an example where I did something totally stupid, and just because it turned out okay doesn't let me off the hook. And so I made some changes after that. I'm honestly a little more situational awareness when I'm somewhere. Try to use a little more caution and a little more wisdom, right? Maybe a little less trusting, and trying to be a little more wise, especially when I've been put in charge of other people's vehicles and other people's kids. And so that is the story of the valet debacle. Possibly the dumbest thing anyone's ever done on their first trip to New York City, and that's saying something for sure. And so hopefully you get a chance to get out to New York City sometime. It is a pretty cool place to visit. If you're looking for a place to park, go over to Broadway. They got parking lots over there. That should be great for you.